I have to ask you the question first. What would you like coaching on?
On the fact that everyone else kind of directs my time. So, I'll be doing something and then someone will say, hey, can I have some help with this? Or I don't know, someone will call me, it's voice phone call, people call and I'm like, I have to pick it up, and then you're on the phone for an hour and then out the window goes anything that you were planning to do that day, and it's very frustrating. You end up feeling, I guess, like someone hijacked your day. You're like, what happened to my day? Anyway, so that.
Can you give me the most recent example of when everyone else directs my time?
Well, I mean, I think probably it's phone calls from mum. She calls and then I pick up straight away. Like, I was like, I mean, it's good to pick up phone calls from mum, but at the same time I was like, because obviously she's calling for good reasons, but like anything I'm doing, it just stops straight away. Takes me usually beforehand and then yeah.
So is the problem, do you want to talk about like the moment of answering the phone or afterwards? Like, is it afterwards, the thought, like, is this the painful thought? You finish and then you're like, oh, everyone else directs my time.
Oh, good question. I think it's a bit of both in the sense, I mean, we should focus on one, but like it's that moment of I have to pick up, as in
Why
like
do you have to pick up?
I guess it's because I think that other people's, I guess as well, kind of, you have this idea that you should be caring about other people and should be there for other people, and you just have the sense that, well, I have a sense that that I should just always give my time to people, like other people always come first. And I guess in the end it means I don't really value my own time. That I put other people's time or other people's needs well before my own plans. And I think I'm frustrated because of that. Like I'm like, I've got things I want to get done and I can't because, or I won't let them get done because I don't value them enough, I suppose. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Liz. Can I just say hi?
Hello, people watching. If anybody who's watching has missed the beginning, Rach and I are doing some coaching, and there's another. Okay. So, can we go back to? So when you think, so there's a phone call and you're like, I have to pick up, and then the reason is that I should care about other people. Is there? Can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
I like to my friends or to family that whatever it is they need is more important than which yeah.
So whatever it is they need. Can you say that the sentence again?
Whatever it is they need is more important than whatever it is I am doing in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Liz? Hi, Liz. I don't know if she's still there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to read back a couple of thoughts that I've written down. You tell me which one feels like the heaviest. Everyone else directs my time. I should care about other people. Other people come first. I don't value my things enough. so they don't get done. Whatever it is they need is more important than what I'm doing right now. Which one
what
gives
was
you
the
like
second?
the second one?
What second last one?
Second last. I don't value my things enough, so I don't get things done.
What about the one before that?
I should care about other people.
I think it's kind of a mix of both those two.
Pick one.
I think I should care about other people.
Okay.
Which is true.
Oh yeah. Okay. It's true, but we're going to dig into it a little bit. Can we see the what? It's going to be a bit tricky. Let me just adjust this.
Okay. I can see the top corner.
Yeah. Okay. Then let's see a bit more.
Okay.
Are there any words in that? Is that it's not backwards for you, is it? It's just backwards for me.
Backwards
It is. Well, we just want you to then. Awesome.
Okay. Can you please try and write it the other way? I'd like to test your skills and write it.
Okay, so I should care about other people. Are there any words in there that stand out to you or feel kind of heavy?
Should.
What does that bring up for you?
Sense of duty. I guess the importance of duty and what I owe to the people around me.
What do you owe to the people around you?
Well, I guess in a way I feel that I owe my time, I owe my talents, whatever it is, that gifts or whatever, to help others have a good life. So I guess, but it doesn't always come from a sense of wanting. It comes from a sense of like that I should.
So yeah, it's not, the thought isn't that I do care about other people. It's I should care.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about?
I mean, obviously I do.
Yeah, no. What does, so other people, who is in that category?
Friends, definitely friends. When they call, it's pretty much only like acquaintances that if they call, then I'll leave it. I won't answer the phone. If I, and then also I feel so guilty when I don't answer the phone, or when I
Is that
leave
even
somebody.
Is that even for acquaintances?
Yeah, I feel pretty guilty.
Okay.
And yeah.
What about the word care? What does care mean to you?
Well, I think kind of my initial reaction is giving of myself to somebody else, but the second part of my understanding would be whatever the person needs. So they might not, like if I was really going to think properly about giving my time to others, I would think, do they need this? And many times probably they don't need to talk to me in that instant. So I guess, yeah. Care is, I think I can mistake caring as simply giving of myself instead of actually wanting to see what the other person needs. It's more of, I guess, in a way, sometimes it becomes a bit of, I suppose, more deeply like that I kind of care in order to feel that you're important or needed by other people and that you're making a difference in their life. So sometimes it can become, I suppose, in a way, it's like a selfishness in terms of I want to know to myself that I'm important in other people's lives, or that I'm helping them. Because really they don't need me to answer the phone all the time, or don't need me to respond immediately to things. If I was to really think about what they need. I don't know if that's off track, but anyway.
Okay. So circumstance is that someone calls you.
Yep.
Or we'll be more specific, the phone rings.
Yes. Okay, the phone ring.
I guess. Yeah. Or because it's whether or not they're an acquaintance or a close friend. So when you think I should care about other people, how do you feel?
A little restricted. I think I feel a bit like kind of I have to help if I'm
Obliged?
Yeah, obliged. Yeah, obliged. Yeah. So I guess I feel a little bit not stuck, but a little like
trapped?
No, I maybe more hijacked. Like my life is like kind of dependent on not necessarily what I need to do or want to do in the moment, but what other people are doing around me. Like I feel that I measure my life kind of gets like I have a plan, but it just gets completely bumped around by whatever other people are doing and whatever they kind of, and I will base my time around other people. I suppose. So I feel a little bit like I owe it to them, and I feel a bit caught, maybe, in that.
What? Fraught?
Caught.
Oh, caught.
Caught.
I think hijacked is a different model. That would be
Okay.
There's a different thought leading to hijacked. But would you say obligated? So just to go back to the thought, I should care about other people. Would you say that obligated is the
feeling? Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So when someone calls you and you think I should care about other people, and you feel obligated, what do you do?
I literally, whatever I'm doing, even if it is important and something I need to get done, I will, it always comes first, like the needs of the person calling, even if it's like they just want to chat about life. I'm like, no, this is because like, this is a friend, she's calling, I don't know, like this is important time for friends, or this is anything to do with people, to me seems to come before anything else to do with myself. So I just will answer, or I'll talk for hours and completely lose track of whatever I was doing.
Do you, who ends the call normally? Will you
They
just
do.
keep
They do. No,
until
they always do.
okay.
Yeah. I always wait for the other person. It takes a lot of it's really hard for me to go, hey, I actually need to go. Like I can't say that to people. I find it really hard to go, sorry, I've got to go, on the phone especially. But even like when I'm talking, like, you know, when you catch up with a friend, you spend hours with them. I love it. I absolutely love it. But there's always this like niggling, like you have things that you need to do, but it's always like they don't matter. Not compared to this person, which in a way it's true, but at the same time, it just means that I don't value. I'm frustrated at myself because all the promises I make to myself, I break. And I'm like, you don't value your own time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you say that you're not fully present?
Yeah, then I'm not fully present with the person. I'm thinking like, be present. And, you know, how can I show that I care? Or, and then, but there's always that like the back part of my mind is kind of going, you have other things you need to, like, that's enough. Like maybe, you know, maybe I should answer the phone, but not as long. Like I don't necessarily need to be talking for ages. But I find it really hard to break that off and to say, no, actually, I need to go and do this thing. Or maybe I'll talk to you later. Like I don't kind of put in the boundaries. Like I'm bad at boundaries. And then, yeah. Anyway.
Would you say that you're like judging yourself the whole time?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Like I'm failing, but at the same time, I feel like I'm kind of like I'm failing to myself, but I'm kind of making up for that by being a good friend or being a good daughter or being a good sister, whatever it is. But I'm failing myself.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so you're like your interior dialogue is I'm breaking promises to myself and I'm failing myself, but at least I'm being a good friend.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
For anybody that's joined and is like, what are these people talking about? We are analyzing Rachel's situation. So when she has the circumstance of the phone rings, she has this thought, I should care about other people, which makes her feel obligated. And then we are trying to figure out all the things that she does and doesn't do when she's feeling obligated in this situation. So some of these things are she puts aside her important things and to answer the phone and talks for hours. She waits for them to end the call. She's not fully present with the other person because she's got this interior dialogue going on where she's like beating herself up for breaking trust with herself, not doing the things that are important to her. She's judging herself the whole time and things like that. We're going to see if we can figure out any more things. Can you think of anything else that you do or don't do when you feel obligated? Are you like, as in?
I don't listen to that little voice of reason, I suppose. There's always that kind of, I don't know, you should get off the phone now, or you can go and do this. And it's pretty clear voice, like it's there. And I literally will just kind of go, no, it's not important right now. And I really regret that. Like I really feel guilty when I do that, but I do it a lot. Yeah. And like I know what I should do or what's probably better, or but it's a good excuse, I think, as well. I think maybe in a way I'm buffering. Like I think in some sense that I have things to do and that whenever somebody calls, it's like, oh good, I can just kind of take this call and like achieve something in my life, like I'm talking to a friend and I'm being a good friend or a family member, whatever it is, and I'm like buffering from other things that I need to do that I don't want to get done. So I think behind it all is a deeper problem. Anyway, yeah. So I guess, yeah, that's what I do.
For anybody that doesn't know, buffering is when we do things to avoid feeling our feelings that we don't feel, like anxiety or frustration, or boredom, which is what it might be for you. If it's like you're doing some task that's not very fun and you're like, oh, cool. here's a
Yeah,
way that I can be a good person. I'm still being good. I'm giving of myself.
that's
But I
true.
don't.
It's like a good excuse. Like it's like it's supposed to be a way of buffering that I don't feel bad about, but I do anyway because I'm not facing the things that I need to do. So,
We can
anyway,
buffer good things.
yeah, yeah. Weird to think that you can do that.
Buffer, like working, like being really productive and working really hard just to distract yourself from feeling bad. Or like exercise, or could be eating something really healthy. Normally we don't eat something really healthy. Normally we go to chocolate, but you could buffer with a salad. Wanted to.
I would never do that. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so your original thought was I should care about other people.
Mm.
What? And so I'll read back to you the behaviors. What does it say?
This is the emergency.
What's the emergency?
Hi, Debbie.
You're okay. You're okay. Oh, okay. Sorry. Go, please. Okay. So you have the thought, I should care about other people, and you feel
Yeah.
obligated. And then you answer the phone, like you put aside your the things that you need to do. It doesn't really matter how important they are. You have this ongoing dialogue in your mind where like you've broken a promise with yourself again. Your things don't really matter. Like I should get off the phone, but I'm not. You're judging yourself the whole time. So you're not fully present with the other person, and you wait for them to the call, so it can go on for a long time. And there's that little voice of reason in your head saying you should get off the phone, and you ignore it. And there's all kinds of guilt that comes along with that. So what would you say your result is?
Ooh. I guess in the end, I didn't choose to be talking to my friends or whatever. Like I was, but I guess in the end that my result is that I do feel obligated instead of like acting out of, I guess, freedom. It's more like I have to help people or I have to do these things. And I don't necessarily like it's not always as enjoyable as it could be because it's coming from a place of duty rather than desire.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
using the wording of the original thought, I should care about other people, I would say the result is that like I'm not really caring about other people. It's like because you're not fully present to them, and you're not like even if they need someone to talk to, you're not all there.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not even fully present.
And then I would say the other part of it is that you're not caring about yourself.
Yeah, I'm not caring about the things that I should be caring about. Like, well, things that I want to care about or to give time to. Yeah. Well, I guess the result is, I mean, they always say if you don't look after yourself, you can't really look after other people. Or, I don't know, the way you treat yourself is the way you treat other people. So if I'm not even, I guess in the end, if I'm not even aware of my needs, how can I really help other people? Or care for other people when I don't value my own time or my own projects and things, I guess. So it's just kind of like, yeah.
Also, like these other things that you're doing, like your other projects, they're not just for you either. Like, for example, like you're writing the book, or like whatever other things that you're involved in. Like those are important because, like, they're important to you because you're like they're these big projects that you're doing to help other people. But because they're not as urgent as, oh, someone so is calling me right now, they get put to the side.
Yeah. And then I guess as well, in a bigger sense, I feel that I fail people because I didn't do that writing that I should have. Like, I haven't been disciplined, or I haven't been whatever it is with my time. Yeah, I guess in the end, it's a real sense of failure to self. That I have broken my own promises, broken my own, yeah.
Were
I
you
guess
starting
maybe
to, were
there you
you
go.
starting to say so that you so because you're not using your time well, you're not doing things that you have told people that you'll do?
No, I think things that other people expect me to do, I will do. There's a lot more urgency there because somebody else has asked me to do it. And I guess in a way, like the whole original idea is I have an obligation to care for other people. Like I feel that like I have this sense, like pretty much everyone would, but at the same time, I think I forget that I have an obligation to me. So maybe I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. Um,
So let's look at, so I should care about other people. Just go back to what you said caring meant. Caring was giving of yourself. Okay. So could we rephrase this as I should give of myself to other people?
yeah. As in, like, that's the real thing that I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Does that bring up a different feeling, or is it also obligated?
Obligated. Yeah. Like, I think, I mean, obviously, the way we've kind of grown up and things that, you know, that we believe, it's like part of it will be obviously all our gifts and things that we've been told, and it's true that they are made to serve others. So I don't know, but it's probably not a good thing that it's so like it's such an obligation or a duty in my head, that I then don't value my own time. Yeah.
I should give of myself to other people. Is this thought true 100% of the time?
As in, do I have it 100% of the time, or is it like, is it
true? Like, so it's We know that it's somewhat true, but let's try and figure out how true it is.
Okay. Let's say it again. I should give myself.
I should give of myself to other people. Is this always true? Are there any times when it's not true?
Maybe when they're not receptive. No.
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like for me, it's a pretty big, like it's a reality that just always seems to be true.
What does give of yourself mean?
Be ready to serve other people and their needs, like
Okay.
give them the time. Yeah.
What if you, are there ever situations when people come to you and they have a need that there's just no way, like you're not equipped to help them with that need? What happens then?
You know, it might be one of my problems that if somebody came to me and I probably would find it, I probably would have a tough time recognizing that I couldn't help them.
That you couldn't help
I
them?
think maybe only if they had like very serious, I mean, not that I can fix the problem entirely, but as in like if somebody had very serious mental health concerns, that would be something that I would definitely go, I am not equipped to help you. Like I'll be a friend, but I can't, I can't solve that. Like, yeah, that would be something beyond my ability. Or I don't know, maybe in terms of time, like if somebody asks me to volunteer for hours and hours and hours or something, I would just be like, no.
Like if it's obvious that it's more time than you have?
Yeah, like if it's gonna take over my life,
Yeah.
no. It's more subtle things, like it's more little things.
But if it's like 10 people asked you, so if someone asked you for like 20 hours,
Depends what it was.
okay, let's make it really extreme. If someone asked you for like full-time volunteering, 40 hours a week, yeah, okay. But if 40 people asked you for 1 hour a week, would you be more likely to be saying like yes to each of them until it was like suddenly all too much?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't recognize the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How do you know what people need?
That's a good question. You just have to figure it out based on the person. I don't know. It depends. I mean, sometimes they tell you what they need, and you know, friend, I need to talk. I'm upset, whatever. I tend to. I think for me, when people with figuring out what people need, I will tend to blame myself as if I'm the like I will somehow my brain somehow will be like it's my fault somehow if they're upset. So even if I haven't seen them all day and then they see me and I'm like I've done something, right? It's literally my first thought is how am I a problem if they're upset about something or yeah, I guess. But then in terms of what they need, it depends on lots of things. Yeah, I don't know, too broad, I think.
So are there any times that you can think of where it would be a good thing not to give of yourself to other people?
Um, when I'm really stressed, when I literally have no room left, maybe. Mm,
Why when you're really stressed?
um, because it means that I am in desperate need of me time, and that I maybe like in my head, I'm like, I can't deal with anyone else's problems right now. I can only deal with my own.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Mm. Do these times, how often do these times happen?
Um, Sometimes they can happen, yeah, a few times a day. Sometimes they won't happen for a while. Depends what's happening with work. I think with work, it's like a whole other thing. Um, yeah, I mean, sometimes it can be a few times a day where I'll be like, I literally don't talk to me, don't nobody nobody ask me anything because I can't help you, and I have this thing that I need to do. But if it's not, if it's something that I can push back, I will. Like, if it's something that I can, like, if it's not like it doesn't have to be done immediately, and I can talk to someone on the phone, I can do something more fun, I will,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. But you know that you probably like shouldn't be giving of yourself, or I guess in that moment it's more you're giving to yourself because you're like, I don't really want to be doing this thing.
Yeah, I suppose in that sense, it's like turning it around. I think the only time that I feel like at peace, kind of wasting time with people, it's like this idea you waste time with your family, your friends, like, in a good sense. Like
Yeah.
you don't calculate the hours that you spend with people. The only time that I really feel that I'm doing that right is when I've kind of planned it in the sense that I've gone, I'm going to give, like, I want to give this time to this person. And it's an hour or maybe 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever it is. But it's like a portion time that I've intentionally set aside. And I can do whatever they want in that time. Like, I'm free to kind of be there for them in any way that they need, or like just enjoy time with them, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I really feel at peace, I think, when I've organized it. Otherwise, I feel that my time is just like it's kind of a time that I haven't used intentionally. So it's something that I could be doing 100 different things, and I always feel guilty. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense?
Mm-hmm. So would you say we've thought of a couple of situations in which it's not true that you should give of yourself
Okay.
to other
Yeah.
people?
Okay.
So,
Yes. Yeah. You can say
so
them because I can't remember what I said.
um, like when you're really stressed, basically, and in desperate need of me time, when you're just like, I
Yeah.
can't deal, like you have nothing to give.
Yeah. 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 That would be definitely
Yeah.
a
Um,
situation.
so on a scale of 1 to 10, how true do you think this still feels? I should give of myself to other people.
About a 7.
Hmm.
Um. Yeah. Because it's still true,
Yeah,
but I
it
need
is still,
boundaries. I
yeah.
think I just need boundaries.
Huh?
Like I need to just boundary my time,
Mm.
which is like work
So
life.
let's now, so we've dealt with the truth part of it. How helpful is this thought to you? How good is it? Is it leading you to the good?
It's true,
Thinking
actually.
back,
That's
thinking
probably
back
not a
over,
very
thinking back
it's
over the
not helpful,
behavior. Yeah, like
not a
it's
helpful thought.
it sounds really
That's so
good.
weird.
It sounds like really good and true. You're like, yeah, I should care about other people. I should give of
Yeah.
myself to them. But it's like it's not leading you to a good place.
That's
Would
so
you
weird
say
to think about.
it is weird?
Anyway,
yeah. Would you say this thought is a belief? You think it often enough that it's a belief?
yeah, it's a belief. Yeah,
Do you want to keep believing this thought?
to some extent.
Could we qualify it and make it more?
Yeah, maybe we need to like condense it or something. Yeah, I have no
So
idea how.
I should sometimes give of myself to other people.
Okay.
You said that you feel at peace about it when you've planned it.
Sorry?
You said you feel at peace about it when you've planned it.
Yeah, like I can really relax with friends or family or whatever when I have set that time aside, when it's an intentional thing.
The same is
No,
true. Sorry.
you go.
Would the same be true? Like, let's say you set a boundary and you said, I'm never going to answer the phone on the first time someone rings. If they really need me, they will call again and then answer the phone, because that will weed out probably a lot of unnecessary calls. Either they'll call you again, or they'll message you and say, it's urgent, can you call me? Or they'll tell you what it's about.
Yeah, that's true.
Or if you're like expecting a call, like you know that somebody is going to call you with something really important. You're like, oh yeah, there's that person. Okay, I need to know this thing. But if you set that boundary for yourself and you followed that, would you feel more at peace? Even if it was an unexpected thing, but you were like, oh, I know that this is actually urgent. And so you'd be like,
yeah, I think if I had that boundary and then I also had like a time in the day or maybe 2 times in the day to call people back or message people back, because I mean I'm sure a lot of people do this, but I always like be like, I'll message that person and I forget, or please can you give a lot of time to the message or something. I don't know, if I always end up forgetting to message people back or call them back if I miss it. So I'm always like, if I don't do it now, it won't happen. But at the same time, maybe if I slot in times to
after lunch,
respond.
After lunch and after dinner, you just
maybe. And then if they really, really need to talk, they can keep calling me until I pick up.
Yeah.
Like, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna write that down.
That would also be like you want to give of yourself to other people or care about other people, and that was like to do with their needs. And if they don't need you right now, like it'll be a filter as to who needs.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that would probably be helpful. It's gonna be so hard to do. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna be so bad at this anyway. Okay. For calls and email and messages.
Well, we're not going to stop there. We're going to come up with a thought that's going to help you.
Okay.
And I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be so bad at this is not going to help you.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Reframing. Okay. All right. Have you got any ideas? Because I don't.
Well, I'm working on it. Let's see.
Oh, Nick. And Sabrina's there.
Now I'm not going to be able to come up with a thought.
Mark, come on, no, you gotta do it. You gotta stay serious. This is professional.
Okay. So the thought that's not helpful is I should give of myself to other people. I always like, oh, how does this feel? So if someone calls you and then you think, I planned for this.
Yeah.
I have a plan.
Okay. Yes,
How does that
actually.
feel?
Yeah.
How,
That
what emotion do you feel when you think I planned for this, or I prepared for this, or I know what to do?
mm, powerful. I suppose.
That's a good
I don't like. Huh?
that's a good feeling.
Okay. Yeah. Like not in control, but just
Empowered?
yeah. Yeah. I guess
Hmm.
empowered.
Do you think from that place you will be able to follow through and just be like, just not going to answer the phone? I'm all right with that. If they
I
need me.
think. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think this. It. Yeah. The fact that I planned it will help me to kind of go, no, no, this is like it's a promise to myself that that I'm very aware of and that I can keep it, and it'll be like, yeah, it'll just be balanced. I suppose is the sense I'm getting, like a more
Yeah.
balanced day rather than kind of frenetic. Look, oh, I'll go do here, I'll do this, I'll do that, or like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, and then at the end of the day, I was like, what did I even achieve? And it's like I might have done stuff, but I'm like, yeah,
Yeah. And it's not like you're not caring about people.
yeah,
Like it's partly in order to be able to serve people better and to be more present to them and available, like fully available for people when they need you.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I think that'll make me feel, and also just more able to be more available in the sense that I'll be like, this is time to talk, or this is time for you. Like instead of me kind of going, I wish I was doing this thing, or
Mm.
yeah. So I think it'd be a good boundary for me to put in to my. That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
awesome. I think it
Okay.
will eliminate like a lot of this because you're devoting a lot of mental energy to this at the moment.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mind going on before you answer the phone, during the phone call, and then afterwards. There's all
Yeah.
these different stages of mind drama happening.
Yeah.
Now imagine
That's
if all of that was taken away.
mm, kind of hard to imagine, but yeah, that'd be good. I would like that. I would just like to be more intentional, I suppose, and more more in control of my day rather than watching my day happen, like living it rather than kind of letting it happen to me based on the whims of whatever people are doing or whatever. And my whims, because really it's my
Yep.
whim too. Okay. Okay,
Awesome.
so
I planned for this.
I plan for this.
So in order for that to completely work, I would say you would need to write out your plan exactly and have it like there, wherever you're
Yeah.
sitting. Maybe have it in a few
Okay.
places if that's necessary.
Okay.
Or you can type it up and have it as your lock screen or something. Um,
Okay. My
anyway,
gosh. This is
have it like
really
have it written down so that it's not like vague. Because if it's
yeah.
vague, then you won't feel confident in the thought I planned for this because the plan it won't be like a complete plan. Like that, it needs to be an actual specific.
Yeah. Can I
If
just
this happens,
say it's a bit
this happens, then I do this.
can I just say it's a bit like I'll do it, but I already have doubts in the sense of writing it down because it's so final and it's like yes. Because it's so final, it's like I'm gonna fail. Like I know like, Jordan Peterson always says, when you keep it all vague and foggy, you don't know and you fail. But if
Mm,
I'm gonna write it down, I'm not gonna know that I failed. And but I mean I'll try like
that makes it that makes it
it just means I
easier.
have to commit, and I don't want to.
Yeah. It also makes it easier to succeed though,
If what?
because it makes it easier to succeed. So if you're like, oh, I'm not
That's a good
gonna
way
like,
of thinking about it.
Yeah, because if you're like if you go to food, if you're like, I'm only gonna have like a little bit of chocolate or something,
Yeah.
that's much harder to actually stick to than no chocolate at all, no exceptions, because it's clear,
Mm,
like a bright line, like there's a clear boundary there. But like a little bit, it's like then you're always negotiating with yourself. Like, oh yeah, I can have a bit here, although like maybe okay, I won't this time, but then, oh no, actually I really want some. Like there's always like this ongoing negotiation. But if it's like
yeah.
none, like okay, I just can't have any. Um,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. A cold turkey is always easier than Sebastian is back. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'll just have to write it down and um
I'm back.
I'll just have to do it because this is for another day, for another coaching thing. But I can't commit to things. Like I am struggling so bad to just commit to anything. Like I hate like I know timetables are good and I know like I'll feel better in a way when I'm more intentional, but I just like totally lack the strength to do it right now. Like I don't know what it is. So even like I'm always like I feel like it's like all or nothing. Anyway, I'll try it. I'll do my best. But that is for another day. That's for another. Thanks, Mike. Actually, I did buy a gingerbread house today.
Oh, that's fun.
For the
Um,
well, I ate it. I'm eating it because Nan doesn't want it. So anyway,
what if you just write it down as soon as we get off this
it's
call?
written down. I've got it down. I'm gonna laminate it. No, no, I've got it. Um, so
Your
I
plan.
will definitely be. Huh?
Your plan.
Yeah, yeah. I've written it all down. It's
Oh,
all written down.
okay, great, perfect. It's all done.
Yeah, we'll see how we go. But that's so.
Run.
Do you want to do a summary for anyone who's just joined, or just maybe any
Yep.
summary? Because
Um,
I think I've got it. I think I've got enough. And I'm like,
yep. Okay, so yep, summary of what we went over. So Rach had someone would call her on the phone. She has this thought, I should care about other people, and underneath that really was I should give of myself to other people, which made her feel obligated. And then some of the things that she does, well, she'll put aside her whatever she's doing, no matter how important it is to her, answer the phone, talk sometimes for a long time. She will never be the one to initiate ending the phone call. She'll wait for them to end the phone call because it's all about like whatever they need. And then she will have this ongoing dialogue with herself on the inside, um, judging herself for breaking a promise to herself and not having boundaries and just beating herself up and feeling guilty, which means that she's not fully present with whoever she's talking to. She's not fully available to them, not actually able to help them or give of herself in the way that she wants to. Um, and so her result is that she's not really caring about other people in the fullest sense or really able to give of herself. And she's also not
mm,
caring about herself. So your thoughts always show up in your results. Um, and we talked a little bit about how true that thought was, whether it's always true that we should give of ourselves to other people. And we decided there were some times that it wasn't true, like when she had nothing to give. You can't pour from an empty cup. Um, and so that we need to be a little bit discerning about that. And also, even if it is true that we should give of ourselves to other people, it actually this thought was not helping her. And so what she's going to try out is the thought, I planned for this. So someone's going to call, and she's got a plan for whether she's going to answer it or not, based on whether they try ringing again and all that kind of thing. Anyway, she's got a plan. Her thought will be, I planned for this, which makes her feel empowered. And so that will hopefully help her to follow through on the plan.
Yes, yes, we will see. We will see. It's all written down, so lots of hope. Yeah. Thanks, Bon.
Right.
What happens now?
Well, we'll just say goodbye, and I'll end.
Let's not say goodbye. Let's say
Nothing very fancy.
Huh?
Nothing very fancy.
Yeah. Okay. You missed the quote. Anyway, thanks, Mon. Really appreciate it. It's a good boost. I've been in a bit of a slump lately. So yes, this is a good kick. Hi, Emily.
Enjoyed it, mine. It's what I can help you with.
Yeah, like go have a try. It's really good to break down your thoughts and how they are impacting your reality. Anyway, thanks, Mon.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.